Happy Asian, Native Hawaiian, and Pacific Islander Heritage Month. My name is Rosa Mai, and I am a member of King County's API Affinity Group. May is AANHPI Heritage Month, and we want to take a moment to celebrate our diverse communities and rich history. There's a saying in the Vietnamese community, Uống, nước, nguồn. When drinking from a river, remember its origins. We are all connected to the past like a winding river. We learn from it, we celebrate it, we grow from it, and we even mourn it. The progress we see today are the results of generations of work that came before us, and the problems we face are persistent echoes from the past. The rise in anti-Asian hate crimes from the pandemic, for instance, are rooted in the xenophobic stereotype of the perpetual foreigner. The erasure of our stories and struggles in the mainstream media are rooted in the myth of the model minority. The disproportionate hospitalizations and deaths amongst NHPI communities are rooted in our inequitable medical systems. But we are also rooted in solidarity, in celebrations, in art, in resistance, and in community. As immigrants and refugees, we come to a land already rich with history. We are on Coast Salish lands. The Duwamish, Suquamish, Nisqually, Snoqualmie, and Muckleshoot tribes have been stewards of this land since time immemorial and have often supported and uplifted AANHPI communities. Indigenous, Black, and Latinx civil rights movements in the 60s and 70s worked in solidarity with the growing Asian American movement to demand equality and civil rights. They paved the way for future generations. We honor the past, the present, and the emerging future as we work towards a more equitable and just future. We want to take time this AANHPI Heritage Month to recognize and celebrate our communities. We also want to acknowledge that 1 month isn't enough time to do justice for our diverse histories and communities. Today, we will be hearing from individuals of Chinese, Korean, Japanese, and Indonesian ancestry. We welcome the opportunity to uplift the stories of our communities in the future, especially our Native Hawaiian and Pacific Islander communities and friends. On behalf of the API Affinity Group, we welcome you to join us in learning and celebrating the stories of our community today and every day.
My studio is right where the dentist sign is, on top of the Higo variety store, Kobo at Higo. I love being American, but we've done some dirty deeds, and I really feel it's important to talk about all of it in order to change, to grow. So let's go out into the Chinatown International District and see some of the public art that's around. He really captured a lot of the neighborhood's history in this piece. It's really cool. That fence is really cool too, if you haven't ever looked at it. It charts the population of the JA community. Yeah. You know, having this work on the street, you can sort of interact with it on your own terms and take your time with it. When Executive Order 9066 was brought down, Seattle area people of Japanese ancestry, for the most part, were sent to Minidoka. My father was born there, and my mom's parents were matched there and married there. I always attempt to hold this balance between showing the serious sort of tragedy of the incarceration story with the beauty and resilience of the community. And also in aligning that story with other things that have happened to communities of color, you know, and thinking about liberation for everyone, thinking about making changes to the narrative of American history.
I was a student at Berkeley. I think I was 19 years old, and I decided that I really wanted to be a novelist. No professor, no high school teacher had ever mentioned the name of an Asian American writer, let alone assign a book for us to read or even a short story. And so there I was, the only Asian American writer I knew. And I wasn't very good, and I was unpublished. So there you go. I knew that at least Chinese Americans have been in the country at that time for 150 years. And I thought, somebody wrote a poem, somebody wrote a story. We built the railroad. Somebody wrote something. And I started looking. The books were not hard to find. 4 of my friends and I, we edited the first trade anthology of Asian American literature and published it in 1974. Some of the things that I tell my students or my young writers, I say it's not so much sort of learning about technique. It's more about making sure that you're writing about belief. What do you believe in? You want to be able to say to yourself, that's exactly what I meant to say in my heart and in my mind. Almost all the writers who are publishing today and getting noticed all talk about other writers that came before them. Their own literary history is really important to them. And UW Press has really the largest catalog of Asian American literature of any publisher in the US. And I was chair of the English department. We had an extremely conservative English professor in our ranks. I was always kind of butting heads with him. And one day he mentioned to me in a faculty meeting, he said, "I never thought I'd see the day when multicultural literature would be part of the American literature canon." And I said to him, "Finally, we agree on something. I never thought I'd see the day either." But here we are.
Finding that right balance of the different flavors, nostalgic memories of like your childhood, where you come from, and then that exciting unknown new. I am very proud to say that it's a Korean fusion, and that's exactly what it is and exactly who I am. I was born and raised in Korea, but I spent way longer time here in America. I learned how to cook in French restaurants. Even if your English was not that good, even if you don't have this super outgoing personality, food just can speak for itself. Food was my sort of this like third language that made me be able to connect with everyone. And ahs, and when you like taste something that's so good, everyone understands and appreciates good food. So many different people bring little different pieces of this work together. People who come in to clean the restaurant, folding the linens, all of us in the kitchen. Okay, I gotta put this one down first before this meat is cooking, and then get the sauces hot. Having all those little pieces, for me, it's the most amazing puzzle that you can put together. Opening a restaurant is something like that you are inviting your whole community into your dining room. People come to your restaurant to celebrate birthdays and anniversaries. We have so many people who come and tell us this was their first place where they met each other on a date, and then now they have kids. Being able to have this your family, but then your restaurant family, but then your entire community always come and go to your house all the time and then eat your food. It's one of the most amazing experiences you can have, and I get to call them my job, so super lucky.
Pick up, please.
We're at the Burke Museum today talking about Southeast Asian past and futures.
We started by looking at the collections and trying to find connections with artifacts that have some sort of tie with our culture.
I grew up in Washington State. A lot of my family members are from here too. I'm 25% Japanese. During the time of internment, I had my great aunt, my great-great-grandfather who unfortunately passed away, and some other family members that were interned. And kind of growing up, that wasn't something really spoken about.
So I was born in Indonesia. I was adopted at a very young age. I was raised in Switzerland. I got a job in Gambia, West Africa, where I met my wife. We decided to move here all the way to Squim on the Olympic Peninsula.
We are all coming together at the end of the quarter to create kind of like an archival magazine. Each student will have a page like talking about what their artifact piece is and what it means to them.
Growing up, I had different artifacts at home. I personally picked the batik, the clothing. I would always wear it when I was younger, but I never really think about it. My life journey actually tied to this story of the batik. You know, I moved from Indonesia all the way to the Gulf of Guinea, and now I have the chance, because of this SEAPF program, to be able to take a deeper look at it.
As I got older, I was able to kind of learn more about like what my ancestors had to go through and what really happened here in Washington and on the West Coast to Japanese Americans. I think it's really important to know the history of Washington because it's where I live and where my family has mostly grown up.
The academic research that we were able to do here with this program, looking at the relationship between the past, the present, our present and the future, really helped me understanding things and from a global perspective.
I wanted to connect with other students that might have different experiences than me, but still have that kind of desire to know more about their family history.
Thank you for joining us today. We want to extend a special thanks to Raisa Desmet, Rachel Yang, Shawn Wong, and Erin Shigaki for sharing their time and stories. Thank you to the amazing people of the API Affinity Group for their work in organizing this video. We encourage you to take time to celebrate the AANHPI community this month and every month. Happy Heritage Month.